Right now, somewhere in the North Atlantic, a ship crosses water that looks normal. 10-foot waves, nothing unusual. Then, without warning, the ocean stands up. A wall of water taller than a 6-story building rises from nowhere, swallows the horizon, and disappears just as fast. For over a century, sailors described these monsters, and scientists called them impossible. So what is actually happening out there? And why did it take one single moment in 1995 to prove the ocean had been hiding something enormous the whole time? For hundreds of years, rogue waves were treated like ghost stories. Sailors talked about walls of water that came from nowhere and vanished. Scientists rolled their eyes because standard physics said waves over 100 feet shouldn't happen more than once every 10,000 years. So when massive cargo ships disappeared without a distress call, without a storm warning, nobody could officially blame the waves. That would mean rewriting ocean physics itself. But the ocean was about to force everyone's hand. On New Year's Day, 1995, the Draupner oil platform sat in the North Sea off the coast of Norway. The sea was already rough, with waves around 39 feet. Then, at 3:20 in the afternoon, a laser sensor recorded something the crew never even saw happen. A single wave, 84 feet tall, rose out of water nowhere near that size. It became known as the Draupner wave, and it changed everything. This wasn't a sailor's story anymore, it was hard data. But here's where things get strange. If this shouldn't happen more than once in thousands of years, how did we catch one on a random Sunday? The European Space Agency wanted an answer, so in 2001 they launched a project called MaxWave using radar satellites to scan the world's oceans for 3 weeks. They expected a handful of unusual waves. Instead, they found more than 10 giant waves over 80 feet tall scattered across the globe in that same window. Rogue waves weren't rare, they were constant, and we simply hadn't been watching closely enough. Scientists went looking for a new explanation and found one in the way ordinary waves interact. Normally, waves overlap and average out, but under the right conditions, constructive interference lets multiple waves stack on top of each other, energy piling onto energy, until one wave steals the height of several others combined. Add in modulational instability, where wave energy in choppy seas concentrates itself in one place, and the ocean quietly builds a monster in plain sight. One of the most notorious locations is the Agulhas Current off the eastern coast of South Africa, where a powerful current flows one direction while swells push in from the other. When waves fight a current like that, they compress, steepen, and grow sharper, like water squeezed through a narrowing pipe. This stretch of ocean has been linked to multiple ship disasters, except there was one problem. Agulhas explains some rogue waves, but not all of them. The Draupner wave appeared in open water, in conditions that should have made a wave that size impossible. Somewhere in the physics, a piece is still missing. Scientists can explain how rogue waves form. They still can't predict exactly when or where the next one will rise. Today, oceanographers are racing to close that gap. Satellite monitoring now tracks swell patterns across entire ocean basins in near real time. Research vessels deploy wave buoys built to catch these events as they happen, feeding computer models that simulate how energy concentrates inside chaotic seas. Modern ships and oil platforms are now engineered with rogue wave impacts factored in, because after Draupner, ignoring the possibility stopped being an option. Some scientists believe better forecasting could eventually give ships a real warning before a rogue wave strikes. Others think the ocean will always keep one surprise in reserve. So here's the full picture. For centuries, rogue waves were dismissed as exaggeration. Then one recording on one ordinary day at Draupner proved the ocean had been hiding a 100-foot secret in plain sight. We understand many of the forces now, waves stacking energy together, currents like the Agulhas squeezing swells into towering walls. Yet somewhere in the physics, a piece is still missing, because rogue waves keep appearing where they shouldn't. The ocean isn't random, it's simply operating on rules we're still learning to read. If you enjoy uncovering mysteries the ocean has been hiding, there's plenty more waiting beneath the surface.